Yes, so it's finally here, the restate of the Weebill 2. I got it here in the studio. I've had the chance to shoot with this one for the last 2 days, so it just arrived here, and I will say it's a nice gimbal. But let's take a first look at what you will get in the Weebill 2 and my thoughts about it once I got it in my hand now, and I've also had the chance to shoot with it the other day. So let's go through this gimbal, the things I like and the things that I don't like. So here we go. Alright, so as I said, we're talking Weebill 2 today because it has finally arrived here in the studio. So I had the chance to shoot with this for the last 2 days. I've also had the chance to use the S5, which this video is shot on. It's shot in 24 frames per second, and there's some 64 frames clip in there as well. But let's take a look at the video, and when we come back, let's talk more about the Weebill 2. So here we go. Alrighty, so the Weebill 2 is here, and let's talk gimbals. The first thing that comes on my mind is, of course, buttery smooth slow-mo footage. It's tasty, we like it, and it just looks freaking good. But sometimes it's a bit overused. So let's jump in and talk about some of the things that we often forget in our busy lives. The everyday stuff, the being on the road, the routines and the workflow that keep us connected and help us tell better stories as filmmakers. Alright, before we get all techie about the Weebill 2, let me introduce you to this guy. Yes, he's good looking and he loves running, but he spent a year restoring this 1973 Volkswagen bus. It's a beauty of itself, and the amount of detail and hours of hard work put into this van is simply amazing. It's that wonderful feeling of slowing down and being taken back in time for just a little while. Let's back up for a moment and put the van right here. This video is shot in 24 frames per second, so you can see how stable the new Zhiyun Weebill 2 is. The gimbal moves I used are pretty basic and put together with some handheld shots, and the in-body stabilization of the Panasonic S5s makes it look pretty damn good. This beautiful old lady is not his everyday car, but a passion project and a glimpse of the past that now will shine on the road wherever he takes her for a spin. But let's get back to what we're really here for, the new Zhiyun Weebill 2, and me showcasing what we can do with a gimbal like this. The Weebill 2 has beefier motors, can take larger cameras, it has an updated interface and stability. It is still a compact gimbal, but with a slightly larger footprint. The new redesigned back handle adds more usability and mounting options, while the flip-out screen gives you full control over the settings and connects with the wireless transmitter. Yes, it's brand new. If you're something like me, you probably want one right now. Alright, so that video was a mix of me just showcasing this beautiful car, and most of these shots are shot in 24 frames per second, so you can see how stable the Weebill 2 is. The last sequence is shot in 60 FPS, where I'm filming that big building. It just works well, I would say. There's some things that, of course, I want to change if I could, but now it's here, and let's take a look at what you will get. The first thing that is very noticeable is, of course, the new flip-out screen. You will now get a screen for the settings that is flippable. You'll see you flip it out, and here you have all these settings. And you will also be able to hook it up with the transmitter, so you'll get a live view on this screen. So I haven't hooked that up yet, but I've seen it work. But of course I will test that out in the following weeks. With that said, the screen is nice. It's a 2.88 inch screen, and no matter where you put it, it won't be in the way for the gimbal's axes. So that is nice, and you can rotate the screen. The interface of the menu is new, and also some of the parameters are changed, and I will of course make a PDF that you can download with my settings once I get to know this gimbal a bit better. So look out for that in the next couple of videos. But as you can see on this, here I have the Zhiyun handle, and it is not in the way for the screen, so that is pretty nice. I also have a metal handle which I normally use, it is a bit too close for the screen to be there, which is kind of a bit of a bummer because I want to have my external monitor on there. So I'll see what I'll do with that, but else I'll just fit the screen in because I will only be using the screen to adjust the settings. So I can just shoot with it without having it out on this side. So as you can see, they have moved all the controls from the handle. That's one of the things that I've talked about in the video about the 10 things I want in the Weebill S, which now is a Weebill 2. So they removed all the controls, which is nice. We still have a trigger up here. If you have the transmitter on, if you want to auto track, you can just simple press and it will start auto tracking. But as I said, I will look at that feature later on. The gimbal itself is a bit bigger than the Weebill S, which I like. There's a bit more weight to it, which I like as well. That will make it easier to get stable footage. So that is kind of the new things of this design. Then they have moved the batteries out from down under here. On the Weebill S we have the batteries here, and now the batteries are internally in the handle, which could be kind of a selling point for some of you guys who has the Weebill S and like that way of shifting batteries. But they say it'll last up to 9 hours, which should be plenty. All the controls are gone now from the actual handle, and we have a flip here where you can switch between pan follow, lock and follow mode. Then you have the joystick down here to control the gimbal, and the follow focus wheel is now up here, which is one of the things that I don't like. I would have added it down here still because now I can't reach it with my thumb, and I actually use the thumb a lot to control this with my ND filter on the actual lens. And this is one of the things that I really don't like about it, is that I have to take one of my hands off the gimbal. As soon as I do that, I will get a more unstable footage. So if I have to use the follow focus wheel, I have to take my hand up, which I don't like. So that is probably one of the worst thing I would say, that they've removed this one. But again, if you don't use the follow focus wheel that much, it's not a problem. Then one of the really good things they've added, that is this back handle, fully new designed back handle. There you go. It's a nice rubber grip. You have some mounting options here on the side. You can also add a monitor on top here. It's a quick release plate, so once it's in there, it stays there. Click, you see, and then you can lock it on the other side. So I really like the design of the back handle. It also gives a bit more weight to it, so you don't have to use the tripod legs that fold out over time. So much more control with this back handle here, and as you can see, it looks pretty well and sturdy on the Weebill 2. So these are some of my early thoughts about the Weebill 2, which I really like, and some things that I don't like. So one thing I want to mention here is that they have made the overall configuration of this a bit bigger. So you now have more clearance here. You can have a bigger camera on there. Let's just try to put the S5 on, which I shot on the last couple of days. So you can see it sits there without any problems. Now it's not balanced, but as you can see, it works very, very well. And you can see the clearance here. There's a lot of clearance right here. And I actually added a quick release plate. So if you don't add that, you have even more clearance for that. That's the Weebill 2 with the new design and more clearance, but it won't be able to take an S1H. I tried that. It can be on there, but you cannot balance it. It's just too heavy, it's just too big. So power-wise, it would be able to run with it, because I think it can take about 4 kilos with the new beefier motors, which is pretty nice. So overall, they've just beefed it up a little bit more from the Weebill S. And one fun thing here, they have actually written on all the motors here, the pan motor, the roll axis here, and the tilt motor here. It all is all written on there, and that is pretty good, because if you're new to gimbals, you probably don't know which one of the axes is what. So now they have written it on there, which I really like. And then one of the last things I want to mention here is that they have also updated the locks, because the locks was a big problem on the Weebill S, and that's a fully new lock system. I don't know what to expect from this. It looks like the same locks they have on the DJI gimbals. but let's see how they will work over time. But for now it works fine. I didn't have any problems with them when I was out shooting the other day. So that's the new lock system. Alright, that's the Weebill 2. I really like this gimbal. I like to shoot with it, and I hopefully will see some updates which will update the performance and smoothness of this gimbal for the next couple of months. And the bigger footprint is not a problem. I can easily have it in my backpack. I can take the back handle off, I can take the legs off, and then it folds down pretty simply. So guys, that is my first impressions. I will make more videos about this gimbal once I get to know it a bit more. I want to go out and shoot with it so that I can give you my best advice on how to best use the Weebill 2. I don't know when it will be available in the stores, but hopefully in the next couple of days. The release day is today, yeah, we'll see. The price I think is about $549, and there will be 4 editions: a Pro, a Pro Plus, a Combo, and then the standard one. So yes, the Weebill 2, guys, it's here. Thank you, Zhiyun, for giving us a new gimbal. Alright guys, that is it. I don't have any more for you, but of course remember, if this is the first time you're here, remember to subscribe if you want to learn more about filmmaking in motion. And lastly, stay creative and stay safe, and if you can, go out and shoot some dope videos. See you next time. Bye.
It's ready.